Can you hold my hair, please? So
They're exalty enough. Any challenges involving lip sync, a little bit of tongue, but teasing. Okay, no tongue.
I say kiss Lola.
Lola?
Yes.
My sis runs a strict program. You better hold her hair. You better cook the eggs right. You better season the eggs right. You better toast the toast right. You better sleep outside with the butt. You better. I ain't never seen nobody run a program on Love Island as strict as Angelista. This is what the doghouse looks like. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island Season 13, Episode 38. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. First and foremost, justice for Yulia. I think I said it like 3 episodes ago. I'm gonna say it again. Justice for my good sis, because I understand she doesn't have the best delivery all the time, but point me to where she's been wrong. All right, like, I know Lola hates to see Yulia coming because she stands for, was it T. Geddes? No, you ain't right for what you commented. I'm not going to repeat, but Yulia stands for everything that Lola doesn't, and she's pissed. Ooh! Keep Yulia on for as long as possible, guys. The vote was open. Y'all better save my girl, because Lola got to go immediately. So we pick up with Kavin and Jasmine. They're happy to be recoupled. And he's like, you know what? I do feel bad that Charlene, had a rough time because of me. And Jasmine is like, that's okay. She'll be better in about a few days. I was like, oh, all right. Then on the terrace, we have Aiden and Priya. They looking a little too comfy cozy for me.
I wouldn't want to be sat with anyone else right now.
I know where I'm at. I know what I want. You do give me what I want, Priya. I want to give you a kiss right now.
Give me a kiss then.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, of course.
Really wasn't expecting you to pick Priya, I'm not gonna lie. You never once mentioned her.
We are, sort of 2 different people. It's very different in terms of our personalities.
And you and Priya are probably well suited.
I was happy that the moment between Priya and Aiden was interrupted because Priya, snap out of it, mamas. Like, I don't have faith in Priya to be emotionally detached. I think she's the type to get caught up. I do not want her to get caught up with Aiden. Hell no. Martha goes up there. Martha, you're an odd one. Martha's gonna say, I'm confused where the connection with Priya came from. And as much as I agree, why are you pressed? You didn't want to fool with Aiden the whole time you've been coupled up with him. He doesn't like serious conversations. That annoyed you. He wanted to be physical. You didn't want to be physical with him. Y'all weren't going anywhere. So why now, when you're not coupled up with him, when he's showing somebody else attention, are you pressed? Why? She's kind of giving desperate. Priya eavesdropping, I was like, should you be eavesdropping? But also, I think I would want to eavesdrop too. So I won't get on you too much, Priya. But Martha, like, what's going on? And then at the end of that conversation, she's going to say, you know what? I'm glad to be in the couple that I am. Clearly, you're happy where you're at. So I just wish you guys the best. Why didn't she leave it there? She will be back. Lorenzo and Yulia talk about their connection going in the right direction. She does ask for more physical affection, and he says he's going to work on it. That's not something that comes naturally for Lorenzo. And in as much as I do understand that, we've seen Lorenzo be in situations where people ask for more from him, and he just is a rock, as he's been called before. Like, I get it. I get when people are like, I am who I am, and you're just going to have to take me as I am. But a lot of people are not going to want to take you as you are if you are choosing to be stubborn just for the sake of being stubborn. It's not like, hey, this truly makes me feel uncomfortable, or can we find some kind of a compromise? It's like, well, no, I'm not doing it because I don't want to do it. How does that work? And I know, like, for the people who don't watch the show, you're probably thinking, but he just said that he would work on it. He's not going to. Finley tells Ellie that giving speeches has become easier for him because his feelings for Ellie are growing. I love to see it, but I'll be honest, ever since Ellie finally found her person, which I did want for her, we barely get to see much of her. And we're also not seeing her stand on business the way that she had been earlier in the season. Like, she was all about like girls and transparency and all that kind of stuff. But there've been a few moments now where some people haven't been very girly to, especially my girl Yulia, and she ain't saying much. I won't do too much on Ellie, but like, what happened to, that's the Ellie that I miss, but okay, fine. Then we have, why do I want to call this girl Charlene so bad? Charlene's friend, and Jordan, who are talking about their connection. He's shocked that she's shocked that he picked her, but literally everybody was shocked.
That was a lovely speech.
Deserved it. It was true.
Thank you.
That's good.
Obviously, you're my usual type. Personality basis were compatible.
Yeah.
You're handsome. You're my usual type.
Yeah.
I like a tall man.
Have y'all seen Carlos on, I think it was the Will and Jovu show? He was saying that Jordan said to the guys that he would do whatever it takes to stay in the villa. Now that's rich coming from Carlos because it gave the same energy coming from him. But I'm just like, for somebody who had a mission to do whatever it takes to stay in the villa, he is a dud, isn't he? Chat, dead. Physical, like, affection, whatever, dead. Body language, dead. Everything dead. Like, even the girls, because Mika had said that her type would be Jordan. I get that she likes Samraj, so maybe it's not worth risking her connection with Samraj. That man did no work for Jasmine whatsoever, but also her heart was somewhere else, so fine. Mara was in there. He was just taking the compliments that Mara was giving him, but he didn't really like give her anything. Even now, as he's connecting with Martha, there's like no energy. He's so dead, and I'm thinking, do you even like this girl? But hey, one thing we know about Jordan, he doesn't have to like you to couple up with you. Anyways, before bed, Jasmine is gassed that she's back with Kavin. Martha is annoyed with Aiden because he never brought up Priya. Angelisa says that things aren't back to normal with Simba, so she's not ready to kiss and cuddle the way that Kavin and Jasmine are ready to get back into. Lorenzo says that he's not going to make coffee for Yulia because he made himself a promise that he wouldn't be doing that. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Like, I get that you are who you are, but if you like the girl, is it so hard to just show her? Whether it's physical affection, whether it's coffee, whether it's... And like in this villa, coffee or whatever breakfast order, like those are the ways that you show somebody in the villa that you care. And you talking about you care for this girl, she's so sexy, she's so this, she's so that, and you can't even make her a coffee. He's so selfish. Like, I can't even believe I was giving him grace at the beginning of the season. Like, he's actually just an asshole. Simply put, there's no two ways about that. It looked like Jasmine, Kavin, Ellie, and Finley were all getting freaky in the bed. In the morning, it was only Finley who confirmed. He was like, yeah, we built the house. We finished it. I said, oh, okay now. At least they're in a room by themselves. That I can understand. When people are doing it in the room with everybody, I'm always just like, oh, like, me personally, I'd be mortified. But that's why I'm not on the show. Well, there are other reasons. Yulia says that Lorenzo was all over her, which would sound nice, but the problem is that in the day, he isn't touchy-feely with her, and she has asked for that. She has said, if you're affectionate in the day, it makes it easier for me to reciprocate with you at night, and it's just like it's falling on deaf ears, and I really don't like that for her. Martha checks to see if Aiden was cuddling with Priya in the bed, and she basically was like, oh, does he do that thing to you that he did to me? Are you okay? Are you okay? She literally demonstrated. She's like, yeah, did he do that thing? You're unwell. All right. So then Aiden and Martha go on the terrace to have a conversation. And she's still trying to like get him to pursue her. And I'm truly confused why she's so desperate to want him back.
Oh.
After you.
Just so you can look at my bum when I'm walking up the stairs.
Obviously, me and Priya did have a kiss last night.
I had no idea that it was like that.
I do still want to get to know you both.
I feel like it's very convenient. I don't want to do like weird triangles. I am open to a few chats if you wanted that.
Yeah.
Martha, this is going to be hard for you to explain once you get on the outside because what's going on? I don't even think Martha can explain what's going on. Okay, she's going to say, I don't want to be in a triangle, but I'll let you know that Jordan is my priority, but I'm open to speaking with you more. So a triangle. Martha, you should have gone with Charlene. Justice for Mara. Oh my gosh, bring my girl back. I mean, the villa did not deserve her. But still, it would have been better than whatever the hell Martha's doing. So then Priya, she says she also doesn't want to be in a triangle. She has a conversation with Jordan. This is one of their first conversations since they separated. Basically, Jordan, he's saying he's confused by the Martha situation because he saved her. And so she should be more keen to speak to him. I said, I don't know if I like that verbiage. I don't know if I like I get what he's trying to say. Like, okay, we just kind of moved our connection forward. Let's focus on that. But him be like, but I saved her. Why is she not talking to me? Yay, give us nothing. Give us nothing, Jordan. Give us nothing. Anyways, Tommy tells Yasmin that they should have a test and that the test would, well, he's not saying that they need one, but it would help her feel stronger about their connection. She's been through enough. She has been through enough. She doesn't need the test. If you want a test, just say that. Let's not mask it. All right? Thank you. Lorenzo tells Yulia that he's sticking by his promise to not make the women coffee. Doesn't matter who you are. He's just not going to do it. She did allude to the fact that she was feeling bad about not getting a coffee because she was saying, yeah, I was watching all the girls get their coffee and then I never got it. And he's just sticking by his promise. So I do feel for Yulia, man. The girl is going through it in this damn villa. If she's not beefing with Lola, who's just deranged, she's getting it from Lorenzo, who says he cares for her, but then refuses to show her that he cares for her. Like, and then her only real friend in here is Martha, who I'm not feeling. Oh, Yulia, justice for Yulia, man. So they got a text that they're going to be doing a challenge called Couple Goals. Jasmine and Coven are the hosts of the game. The first question that stuck out to me, because there were more questions, but the first one that stuck out to me was which couples have the least sexual chemistry. It was a tie between Priya and Aiden and Jordan and Martha. Martha was upset because she's like to Aiden, again, you never mentioned Priya in Casa Amor. Why do you care? Why do you care? If she wanted Aiden so bad, they wouldn't have been struggling the way that they were struggling before the recoupling. Like, it's not as if, you know, like she wanted him and he just wasn't giving her what she wasn't, you know what? She did have to cuss him out for the whole tea thing and she didn't want him to have deeper conversations. But he also was trying in his own way and she wasn't having it. So it just wasn't working. So why now she's so pressed about Priya being mentioned is beyond me. The next was least likely to work on the outside. Lorenza and Yulia were up there because he's so particular and she's asking for things that he's either incapable of giving her or he doesn't want to give her. They also brought up the fact that there's drama in that couple, mainly because of Yulia, and that Lorenzo is very focused on his friendships. And if she's causing drama with his friends, he's not going to want to stick around. Jasmine and Coven were also up there. They were chosen because of the arguing and because of Coven's feelings for Charlene. Yulia says that she would have chosen Sean and Lola. And they're questioning her about the reason why she would have chosen them. And I believe her points were valid. Now, because it's Yulia, people don't want to listen. And somebody on Discord today made a very good point. There is xenophobia when it comes to Polish people in the UK, and I think they also said in Ireland. They are from Ireland, and then somebody from UK also confirmed that it happened in the UK. So it's like there's this disdain for Yulia outside of whatever she's been saying about Lola and Sean, right? So she says, the fact that I brought something up to you that pertained to your relationship, and instead of you hearing me out, you immediately got defensive, and you've been defensive ever since, shows me that it's probably not going to work on the outside. That is absolutely valid. But because it's Yulia saying it, and because Yulia has been pressing the matter, pressing it, nobody wants to hear her. And when I say nobody, I literally mean nobody. Yasmin doesn't want to hear it. Priya doesn't want to hear it. Like, people who I actually thought would be more understanding to Yulia and where she's coming from, they just don't want to hear it at all. People are, like, I can't even fully say that it's people taking Lola's side because it seems like not everybody likes Lola either, but people just don't want to side with Yulia because she is so strong-willed and because they perceive her as bringing the drama. But she's correct. If you feel like your relationship is beyond criticism, and I get it, it's hard to hear, but if you believe it's beyond criticism, both from outside and inside, something is wrong. It's not going to work. Conflict in a relationship is important, especially because conflict resolution helps build your relationship. But if you never have conflict, if you pretend like there's never conflict, you're going to implode. So shout out Yulia for standing 10 toes down on that. I love that. Why were the people going to say Lola is passionate because she really cares for Sean. No, Lola is passionate because she's hella insecure, either about herself or about the relationship. And she cannot stand the fact that Yulia stays calling her out. Next was one-sided. Lola wanted to vote for Yulia and Lorenzo because she thinks that Yulia is fake. She's here for airtime. And she believes that she doesn't even like Lorenzo. Sean, thankfully, was like, we're not going to be petty. I'm not doing that. And she's like, no, but that's really what I think. That's really what I think because, you know, she's so fake and she's such a fucking bitch and I can't stand her. And I'm gonna, oh my God. I'm glad that Sean had said, listen, let's not be petty. But this is like the only time he's ever going to really stand up to Lola. He doesn't do much. And it's going to bite him in the ass very shortly. We get a lot of votes that are for Simba and Angelista, mainly because, you know, Simba has to really work for Angelista right now, and Angelista does seem kind of tricked out, so she does agree. Martha and Jordan were mentioned because she's made a beeline for Aiden instead of focusing on Jordan. Jasmine asked if things between Aiden and Martha are done, and they both say no, which was a shock to Priya because she didn't think that the door was still open between Aiden and... I just said her name. Martha. Aiden and Martha. Martha is like, well, yeah, I think it came later, but anyways, she's like, yeah, you took me on the terrace and spoke about us like rekindling something, and I told you that my focus was Jordan. Well, girl, based on your actions, we couldn't tell. Because you keep banging down Aiden's door talking about why you like Priya. When did Priya get into the equation? You never mentioned Priya. Priya. Now you talk about, no, my priority is Jordan, though. Jordan doesn't even know that. So then Aiden was like, okay, if you're trying to make it seem like I'm the one who has to pine after you, then we could just dead it now. And she's like, yeah, okay, fine. She's so odd. Next was who cares about being perceived? The only answer should have been Sean and Lola. I know the villa does not know this, but literally... Sean and Lola the day before had this whole discussion about how they're being perceived negatively based on things that they had done and said. It should only be them. It should only be them. They don't even believe in what was shown. They're like, yeah, not real. I would never say those things. I would never do those things. While they had seen it with their own eyes. They're so worried about being perceived that they can't even perceive themselves. Interesting. Anyways, most of the votes went to Angelisa and Simba because she is worried about how her family is going to think about what's been going on, which is completely understandable. And then the last that stuck out to me was who would you not want to go on a double date with? Lorenzo and Yulia got a lot of votes because of the drama. Yulia says, honestly, I'm not pressed. I'm aware that I am an acquired taste. And I love that even in her awareness of that, she doesn't change herself to be accepted. Love that about Yulia. Lorenzo was clearly hurt by getting all the votes, but like at this point, you know how Yulia is. You've seen her temperament. And if that's not for you, then end it with her, because I hate to see him stay in this couple with her and her not getting what she deserves from him. It would be nice for him to, you know, speak up on her behalf. It would be nice for him to take up for her sometimes, even if it's in the face of his own friends. But he doesn't do that. Lorenzo says Kav and Jasmine would be a double date. He would actually want to go on, even though that's not the prompt. He said he would want to go on it because it would be awkward. Obviously, the Charlene situation left a bad taste in Yulia's mouth, and then the whole affair thing left a bad taste in Calvin's mouth. So, you know, the awkwardness would be fun for him. At the end of it all, Yulia, because people, you know, were chiming in on her being the drama or whatever, Yulia says again that she understands everyone's perspective on her, but she's firm in the fact that she is who she is, and, you know, those who can't handle it just can't handle it. After the challenge, Simba is annoyed on Angie's behalf because he's like, well, God forbid somebody worries about how their family perceives them. I need you to keep coming to Angie's defense like this. Keep defending her. Now, based on what you said, the answers do match the prompt. They do. She is then, in fact, worried about being perceived. But keep defending her. That's the energy we need. I like that. Sean says that he wants to have a conversation with Yulia, and Lola throws a fit. She is not having it.
No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't do this to me. Please don't do it. No, please don't do this.
Can you see my perspective?
Well, let's go to the day, lads. She's the reason this isn't civil. I don't want you being civil to a girl who's fucking out to, like, get me constantly. We just ignore her. That's all I want from this. If you're doing anything for me in this place, just do not do this to me.
I feel like you just got to compromise here.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Isn't it so interesting that Lola was so against the stance that Yulia took, which is that they are so defensive when it comes to criticism about the relationship. They don't want to hear anything negative. Yet here we are throwing a fit because of something that Yulia said in the challenge. I don't want you to talk to her because look at how she talks about me. Look at how she talks about our relationship. No, that's not fair. You're going to offend me. Now, even in your own relationship, something is going wrong, right? Sean wants to just clear the air with Yulia. You don't want that to happen. You're taking it as a personal offense because he's doing something that goes against what you believe should be done. Again, you believe you are above criticism. You believe your relationship is above criticism. Yulia was correct. Sean is like, okay, I'm just not going to say anything. It's fine because Yulia is up on the terrace with Lorenzo anyways. They're talking about how the challenge went, and he does commend her for being the strong-willed woman that she is. He says that it's actually very sexy. He loves her confidence, and that's great and all, but it would be nice if once in a while Lorenzo does come to Yulia's defense. Yes, she's a strong, independent woman, but even a strong woman wants to be with a partner who backs them up. All he did, well, he did say a little bit in the challenge, like, oh yeah, I'm proud of you for what you said. But most of his support for her was rubbing her leg. And I'm sorry, that's not enough. And clearly it's not enough for Yulia. She's saving face for now, but her constantly asking for more affection, more care, more this, more that, shows that she's not happy with how he's navigating this relationship. So I really do feel for the girl. Lorenzo's just so selfish, man. He's so self-centered. He doesn't care. Like, here's the hierarchy when it comes to Lorenzo. Lorenzo's friends, Lorenzo's girl. If you want a healthy relationship, that hierarchy is not going to work. At the end of that conversation, Lorenzo did say that he is focused on what they have going on. He's not worried about what other people are doing. Sounds nice, but I have yet to see that evidence. And he does tell her, in as much as I do think that you are quite bold and it's sexy that you stand up for yourself, I do need you to, pattern up a bit. And she says, yes, I have been taking notes. I am learning how to navigate things a little bit better. Cut to Sean. One thing we've learned about Sean is he is duplicitous. Yeah, he's one way when he's with Lola. He's another way when he's with other people. Actually, I tried to come up with a word. He shows up in 3 different ways. One way with Lola, one way with the guys, a completely different way with Yulia. So when he's with Lola, yes, master, no, master, of course, master, I'll do it right now, master, okay? When he's with the boys, I'm not even impressed. I'm not even, very trying to be nonchalant, whatever. Even in this I forget who he was talking to, but he was basically like, I don't even care to have a relationship with Yulia or anything like that. I'm like, weren't you the man who wanted to bury the hatchet because you don't like living in this house with tension and all of that? So clearly there's some kind of relationship you want there. You want to be cordial at the very least. Then when he's talking to Yulia, tone completely changes. She's apologetic. She's trying to fix things. And he's like, I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry this and I'm sorry that. Oh.
I don't want to be friendly with her. We have a mediator.
I was never trying to come at you. I didn't really understand where she was coming from. Just very, very negative.
I do understand. We can all be civil.
You wanted to clear it up, and I'm glad you got the chance. You just go about things differently to how I go about things, I think. I'm glad you did what you wanted to do. So you still talked to her, but you wanted to do that. And maybe I am petty, but I wouldn't have handled it like that.
He's such a little bee. This man can't stand up to nobody. He can't stand up to Lola. He can't stand up to Yulia. Why, when he went back to go explain what happened in the conversation with Yulia, he's gonna say, yeah, I told her that was her final warning. When? When did you say that? You never said that. We never saw him say, this is your final warning. This is your last chance. I felt like a teacher reprimanding her. What reprimanding? Be so for real. Then, Lola is now going to reprimand him. Basically saying, I'm glad that you got to do what you wanted to do. But just know, if I don't want you to do something, I expect you to not do that thing. She's like, I know you're a people pleaser. I said, ooh, damn. And she's like, I'm a people pleaser up until a point. You piss somebody off that I like, now I'm not pleasing you no more. And I'm thinking, well, what did Yulia do? Because the only person who has had so much smoke about what Yulia has said has been Lola. It has always been Lola. When Yulia said it in Casa Amor, Sean didn't care. The man continued to speak to her after the fact. When he saw himself back on movie night, he was disgusted at his own behavior. He was shuddering. He was making himself small, like, damn, I'm about to get it. And again, you had more smoke for what Yulia said than what Sean said. So please tell me, where did Yulia offend the person that you loved? Where did that happen? When? This girl is so... And I loved seeing Sean's face go from like pleased with himself to absolutely drained. The man was rolling his eyes. The man was doing whatever. He made a point to do it without Lola looking because he's scared of that girl. But I'm like, yeah, you being so agreeable, you wanting to be a Lola lapdog, it's not faring well for you, is it? And I had to think, I was like, now how did these two even get together? Because, you know, they were so irrelevant at the beginning. But I do recall him saying he did like blondes, did he not? I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And then nobody was really checking for Sean. The only person who was checking for Sean was Lola. Lola was sticking it on him to the point where he was like, oh, wow, like, you're really doing that. He was like, okay, I respect it. That's cool. And from then on, she's had her claws in on him, and he hasn't been anywhere else since then. I don't feel no ways for Sean. He knew from the beginning that she wasn't his type or whatever. For whatever reason, I guess, not being desired, he was like, okay, let me settle with the girl who's actually showing me some attention. And now it's backfiring. It backfired in Casa because he didn't get to explore the way that we know he wanted to explore. It's backfiring now because the girl who had her claws in on you is digging deep, and now it's pissing him off too. The vote came at a perfect time because Lola already knows the public don't like her. She's gonna know even more how much we don't rock with her. I hope this time that Sean is at the bottom with her. Actually, yeah, they should be because it's by couple, right? Vote them out. Let the public vote be the final say, because I know for a fact if it's up to the UK public, Lola is leaving. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.